Hi, this is Sally Wood for Be Inspired, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do chair seats. I know I've done chair seats before, but these ones are slightly curved at the back and also have a notch out for the back of the chair to fit in. So here we go. The first thing we're going to do is remove this base cover, and to do that we're going to use the tack remover, which has a little groove there, and a hammer. We just lightly tap underneath the staple and bring it up. Don't dig too deep, because we can keep the base cover and reuse it. And when I've got enough up, I'm just going to use a pair of pliers and pull them up like this so they're all clear. And I'm going to work all the way around here to get it up and out of the way. Now the only ones I haven't removed are the ones that held a label in place. The reason is the screws will line up with the existing holes, and that makes it a lot easier to put the chair back on, especially if she didn't mark them. Usually there's a mark as to which chair seat goes on which chair. Once I've done a straight edge, I roll that back, and I'm going to go back like this and start removing the seat cover in exactly the same way, only this time I don't mind if I ruin the fabric, because that doesn't matter. Make sure you get all of the staple out, and if you don't manage it, knock it back into the chair. Having removed the staples from both the inside and outside on 3 of the sides, I've come to the bottom. They've actually folded the bottom cloth over, which is a bit irritating. So I am going to very carefully remove that. If this is what happens on any of your chairs, just remove it and fold it back, and then carry on and go to the next area till it's finished, and then just move on to the next one, trying not to rip anything, and ease that one up. I mean, if you don't care for keeping the bottom cloth, then don't be so cautious, but if you do care, then as I say, just ease it up as you go along. You just save money if you're cautious with things, and just carry on going. Now, one thing the client complained about was the fact that the chair had sunk. So I'm going to see why that has occurred. Actually, I know why it's occurred. Let's see whether we can pull that off. This gives after a while. It's just one of those things, and they've really strapped it across. So I am going to cut a piece of foam. This is 1.5 inches. It's a little bit thick for what we're going to do, but it'll be fine. I'm going to just cut this into shape. So it doesn't have to be pretty, so I'm not going to make it perfect. Just so that as long as it kind of fills the hole. Now I'm going to do the same for the second one. I'm going to web this in place, which is a bit of a bind because we're going basically the wrong way up, but it'll be fine. So secure that side. Fold it over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that there at an angle, put the teeth through like that, on the side of the table like this. I am going to just pull this webbing into position like that. Just make sure that doesn't come over too hard. Oops-a-daisy. Really tight so it's basically flat, and if it pulls over slightly, just push the foam back, because that might happen. This is when you need an extra arm. So I'm going to just pop that in like this, and I'm going to cut it back, fold it over, makes it stronger, and then secure. Now when you go the opposite way, make sure that you weave, even for a small piece like this, weave the webbing across, and again secure. Just move that one a little bit that way, that'll be fine. I'm just going to finish this one up and then repeat on the second one so they're identical. Okay, she gave me this. I usually use Dacron, but I use whatever the customer provides. I'm just going to cut in a straight line, wide enough for the chairs, and then she can have the rest back for whatever she wants to do. As it's folded, she should have quite a bit left. So I'll just continue in my line across. Just going to cut this in half and use it folded on each chair. Now I'm going to mark the centre of the front of the chair. That is 18, just shy of a half, so that's 9 and just under a quarter on that side. And the same on the back. I'll go at the widest point, which is just shy of 16, so just under 8, literally. And then I'll draw a line, joining both of those up. It gives us a starting point. And actually, I really need to carry that going on through. So by lining that one back up, I'll get to the centre back here, like that. The client has chosen this fabric to cover it, and all I'm going to do, work out where the halfway mark is, and cut it. Whoops, a daisy. Now the piece of fabric I had, I've cut and I've marked the centre mark, both ends. And now I'm going to wriggle this until I find the part that I actually like, and that are at the edges of the foam. So that will be my centre mark. I'm going to flip it over, and this will come down far enough. Perfect. Just need to line that up slightly better. And say this is my centre mark, that's where that was. And I'm going to just pull the fabric a little ways across. Okay, I'm actually going to cut the fabric back to this line here to make it easier. So I'm going to remark the centre, so I know where it is at the base here. Turn the fabric and make sure I have the same going on at this end. So I'm going to slightly move that so the centre line is here, and I'm going to cut back to this line here. Right, now using my centre marks, I'm going to pull the fabric across and secure. And the same at the front edge. And then I'll flip it over just to make sure I like where I've put everything, just because I like it one way doesn't mean to say that's how I really want it. Right, now I'm going to flip it over. And the fabric's moved a little bit, but not very much. I don't think that's going to be a major problem. There's a fault in this fabric here, which I'll see if I can pull through. Because I can't see where any lines are, I'm kind of flying blind here. So I'm going to just pull this in so it looks even across the front edge. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just to here. So that is the 4th V down. And then I'm going to do the same here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is really not very scientific, I must admit. And I'm going to pull it forward and out like that and secure it on that end too. And it should be about 3 or 4 inches in from the end, which it is. Good generous amount. And then all I'm going to do is pull this in between and secure it. And I can do it this way, just so that it looks very smooth across here. So that's to that half. And actually I'm going to have to take this one out and do the same this way. I only did it so I could estimate where it needed to be. Now I've got the front in as I like it. I've just undone the back so I can reassess where I want that to go. There it is in line with that. So I'm just going to pop that in. I'm going to avoid the backing that I've left in there. If you can't work with the backing there, then just take it out. That's fine. Now I'm going to pull this round, but this is a shaped back, so it's just going to do its own thing. Just make sure that when you've got one side in, it goes in equally to the other. So I like that as the shape. And I'm only going to go here, and then I'll do the same on that side. So I'm just going to count from this down. So I've got 1 white, 2, 3, and then it's onto a blue there. So 3 there. And I'm going to do exactly the same here. I've got 1, 2, 3 there, and I'm pulling out so it curves. I'm going to pop that one in too. Lay it down. Just pull it in slightly so it's smooth and secure. The next part I'm going to do is the sides. Only because I'm getting too close to here to really be able to work out where we're going. So all I'm going to do is fold up the side like this and pull it across, and it looks like sometimes you need to flip it and see where you're going. It looks quite smooth there to there. And again, just secure it if need be. So I've got the corner of the triangle there, sorry, the corner of the diamond there, pop that in there, and then the corner of this diamond, let's just pop over a little bit like that to match. I'm going to pop that in there. And now, as I'm going to work into the front edge here, I'm going to roll the fabric over, and it's on the chevron on this side, so I'm just going to pull that over, hold it with my thumb, and then just make sure that that is a smooth line between those 2 points, or as smooth as you can make it. And the same going back, just choose a section and then just smooth it out towards the back. And if it alters anything, just let it, it's fine. And do the same on the other side. Now this fabric is really thick, so I can't pleat it. Having removed the bulk of the fabric, you can see a little bit clearer as to how this is going to go in. As I do it either all one side or each side, it doesn't really matter as long as it goes in smoothly. Because this is the front and this is the side, I don't usually prefer, I prefer to take as much out of that corner as possible. Right, now all I'm going to do is pull all of this in as tightly and as neatly as I can. You see, just like that, and secure it. and then just trim all of this back too. Now I'm just going to trim the back of this up a little bit so I don't have so much fabric, and just a little bit across the top, and I'm just going to do it straight across, no funny shapes or anything. Trim back anything that's too big here, and then with your hand just pull the fabric towards the back and then twist it towards the center here, and it should ripple. And the same on the back side here, just pull it over. Oops, a daisy, that doesn't show it very well. So again, just pull it in and let it ripple towards the center here, and work towards the corner. Get within an inch of the corner. Now with the corner, what you've got to do is, see where this wood is, and here you just pull that all very hard towards the center of the chair, like that. And you can wriggle it and you'll see where it's going to lie best. I think there would be the good place. And I'm just going to staple that there. And then on this side, I'm going to pull this back to this corner here and staple it. And then wriggle that round and fold it flat. Now along the back side, I'm going to move the fabric. It needs to come into the corner a little bit more, even though it's already attached. So that's another pleat there. And with my fingers, I'm just going to roll the fabric round. So I try to get this fold as close to that corner as possible. And if that means cutting out more fabric, then that's what I'll do. So here we go, I'm going to just roll that in like that, so it's nice and neat, and staple all of this into position. Now find where the holes are for the screws and trim the back of the fabric to expose any screw holes. When all the screw holes are exposed, line up the screw hole from the backing over the top. Makes it a lot easier for the customer to be able to attach their chair later. And work your way around. That one goes there. Just make sure that all rough edges are hidden. And it goes in as flat as possible. I've got 1, 2 finished. Got both of them done. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that I've taught you a few little tricks, as in how to deal with very thick fabric, as along with how to make a flat cushion look plumper than it really is, especially if the cushioning is glued down and you can't really take it off. So there's always a second way of doing something. Anyway, take care. Look forward to seeing you in the future. Ciao. And I'm just going to... Peter, that's rather loud, darling. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you have learnt a few little tricks, like how to make a flat